In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make indie pop music, or like indie synth pop music. Kind of in the style like the 1975 Fly By Midnight, Valley, that type of genre. And to do that, I remade a 1975 song called It's Not Living If It's Not With You. And I'll break down my remake of the song's elements, the sounds of those elements, the mixing, the structure and arrangement, all that jazz. So hopefully by the end of this tutorial, you can make a song in a similar indie synth pop style to this one. Set the tempo around 120 to 125 BPM. Start off by making one singular chord that will be repeated. So the whole track is going to be based around this one chord that you start off with. So just pick a very simple chord. This is just an A chord right here. Literally every other element is going to be based off of this one chord that we just are going to be repeating over and over again throughout the entire track. For the sound of these chords, I use 3 presets. I use this Vital preset from MHA's Vital Sound Bank Volume 3. This one from MHA Vital Sound Bank Volume 3 as well. And then just a sustained strings preset from Flex. So these two here are very calm, atmospheric, synthy type chords, but then this last string preset over here is just to kind of amplify that synth sound a little bit. It's not really to stand out, it's just to really help reinforce those sounds from earlier. And for mixing, I have this EQ right here. We want to take out a good amount of the lows because we're going to have a very prominent bass later on, and we don't want these lows from the chords to interfere with the bass at all, so we're going to take those out so it's not muddy in the mix. And then I put a Fruity Blood overdrive on here to amplify the sound and give it some extra texture. Turning up the color all the way will give it some extra crispiness, and then putting on this filter over here will kind of tone down the high frequencies of the crispiness, so you only hear like the essence of the sound. This is what it sounds like without these filters put on. Then you turn up the color to get the crispiness, and you hear all those kind of weird sounds that you don't really want, so you put that filter back on. You get a very more aesthetically pleasing sound with that filter. Next, make a piano melody that fits the chord. So this A chord can either fit in an A major song or a D major song. Using the notes in the key of D major, I was able to create a piano melody. Very simple, honestly. It's almost like an ARP that sounds like this. It's very powerful and atmospheric of a piano melody. And I used 4 flex presets to accomplish this sound, and all of them have the delay with these settings. These are all the same settings with the delay on each of these presets. So I used this piano preset from Flex, this piano preset from Flex, this piano pad preset from Flex, and then this piano preset from Flex as well. So the delay and reverb are obviously turned on for all of these because you kind of want that loud stadium atmospheric piano vibe. Go for some light, higher octave piano sounds, which I have here. And for the mixing, obviously a Fruity Blood overdrive on here to give us some extra power. I turned the color all the way up to give it that extra higher end that we want with these pianos. And then the same EQ from earlier, taking out the unneeded lows and then also boosting up a little bit the highs so that we get that extra texture and crispiness that we want with this high octave piano sound. Next, make some bass notes out of notes from the key and create a very, very simple rhythm out of it, something maybe like this. Usually in my tutorials I say add some extra variance and maybe like put this an octave higher or put this an octave higher, or maybe chop up these and then put an extra note there. No, don't do that. Keep it very simple, very straight to the point. You don't want the bass to be too busy. This is really just a mellow bass that we're going to have in the background the whole time. And I used 3 flex presets to accomplish the sound. I started with this one and then moved on to this bass guitar preset from Flex, and then I got this one as well. So very soft, acoustic, and electric sounding bass guitars. And all I did to this is I put a Fruity Blood overdrive on here with the same settings as the chord from earlier, giving the higher end frequency some time to shine with the color, and then toning down the harshness of those frequencies with the post filter. Next, find a guitar lead that fits the overall vibe of the track. Just like a simple melody like that. And you can find amazing electric guitar samples like this from Splice, which is paid for, or Looperman, which is completely free. Or play the guitar yourself, that's also an option. And you could just start jamming out with a guitar sample or a riff that you're playing yourself. Now for the drums. I have this kick. Make sure it's on the acoustic side and it's very light and punchy. I have this hi-hat loop as well. Make sure it's very acoustic sounding of hi-hats. I layered 4 snares, believe it or not. I have this snare right here, more on the ambient acoustic side of things. And I have this snare right here, more on the synthetic side of things. I have this short snare over here, which is just like a top snare to kind of give the snares some texture. And then this is the basic stock snare from FL Studio. And altogether the snares sound like this. Aim for a generous mix of acoustic and synthetic. This genre uses a mix of synthetic and acoustic elements in their drums. And then I just have this ride loop as well, just to help the drums keep the tempo going and add some more acousticness to the synthetic nature of what we are making over here. And altogether the drum loop sounds like this. And all of the drums just have a Fruity Blood overdrive on here, nothing done to it, just a preset thrown in there just to really get the drums to hit hard and really elevate the sound and amplify it a little bit. Now for some effects, I have a drone and a top guitar loop over here, which will provide some ambience and also helps fill up the mix in the background a little bit. Very light and atmospheric. And then I just have some sweeps and crashes to kind of introduce the chorus or whatever you got going on here. And this is what the final structure of the song looks like over here. We got the chord, we got the lead guitar, we got the piano melody, we got the bass, we got the added ambient effects over here, we got the drums that we made over here, and then we have the 2 crash/sweeps over here. After all that, here's the final result.